I hope you brought a little something for me.
Back off, civilian.
So how did it look out there?
We've got a lot of work ahead of us, brother. Hi.
Hey there! Glad I finally caught up with you. My name's Veronica. Welcome to the Brotherhood and its glorious floating bathtub.
Glorious floating bathtub? What do you mean?
The Pridwin, obviously. You know, the big-ass blimp we're inside of? The thing looks like an upside-down bathtub. Don't tell me you can't see it.
Veronica, huh? Do you have a last name?
Yeah, actually, I do. It's Santangelo. But most people just call me Veronica, and I'd prefer it if you did the same.
It's nice to meet you, Veronica. I appreciate you taking the time to say hi.
Nice to meet you too. And of course, I couldn't let Dance get all the credit for showing you around. It's not every day someone new joins up with us.
How long have you been with the Brotherhood?
About as long as I can remember. I was born into it, somewhere around 33 years ago, out on the West Coast. A lot's changed since, but I'm still here.
What is it you do here? For the Brotherhood, I mean.
Oh, I'm a field scribe, which essentially means I'm a scientist who gets to play with guns and shoot stuff. I work for Naraya and Quinlan.
Well, I'm glad you put in the effort to make me feel welcome. Honestly, it doesn't seem like very many people actually want me here.
Yeah, I get it. Everybody's so stuck in their ways that they can't open up, but fuck them. Who cares? How about we blow this joint and go exploring?
You want to go exploring with me? Why? I mean, we only just met.
Maybe because I think you're cool and that you can handle yourself? Besides, it's my job to see what's out there and document it. So what do you say?
I can't right now, Veronica. I'm not saying no, but just maybe later. I'll come get you when I'm ready.
All right, I get it. If you change your mind, I'll probably still be here.
If you aren't Brotherhood, you're nothing.
Hey there.
Back again, huh? You finally ready to take me with you? I can't wait to see your life up close.
Why do you want to come with me again?
Because I've got a job to do, and I want you to be with me while I do it. The Brotherhood needs its precious documents, and I'd rather not be alone. Besides, it's not like I really need a reason to leave this boring, flying garbage can. So, you gonna say yes, or are you gonna make me beg for it?
Sure, Veronica. We can go exploring. Get what you need, and we can go.
Yes! All right, let's get out of here. I'm so ready to be free of this place.
I don't have time for you right now.
Hey, over here.
Of course, right away.
I need to ask you something.
What can this pretty girl do for ya?
I need you to get out of your power armor.
What? You mean the invisible suit of metal plates I'm wearing? Why don't you get me out of it yourself?
Your thoughts?
If you happen to find a pretty dress out here, you think you could hook a girl up? I've been dying to look like a real woman.
Your thoughts?
The Brotherhood used to be an isolationist military that was obsessed with old tech. Now it's an aggressive military that's obsessed with old tech.
Your thoughts?
What?
Your thoughts?
You're not doing half as bad as I would have thought. Losing your whole world to a big red button must have sucked. But you're tough, and I like that.
It's time for you to head home.
You sure I can't stay a little longer? Ugh, all right, fine. But you better come back and get me.
Hey there.
Hey, look, if it isn't my hero, what can good old Veronica do for you?
Tell me about yourself. What's your story?
Well, I was born into the Brotherhood about 33 years ago. My dad was a paladin and my mom was a scribe, but they died when I was still a little girl. After they died, I was raised by Father Elijah, one of our former elders. He was basically my grandpa, always there for me whenever I needed him. He was the one who really got me to hone in on my skills, and he taught me to be a scribe, just like my mom. I really miss them, if you can't tell. Anyways, I've had a knack for engineering since before I could talk. Was never a time I wasn't taking something apart or putting it back together. And when I was a teenager, I fell in love for the first time. Her name was Christine, but she abandoned the Brotherhood and left me, so I let her go. Later on, in the early 70s, Elijah found this power plant south of Vegas, in the Mojave. Helios 1 it was called. So we packed up and moved there. But that's when he started to change. Or maybe I just started to notice it. That he went mad with his obsession of technology and he lost himself. In 2274, the NCR showed up in the Mojave, and they gave us a real scare. We thought they were hunting us, but they went straight for the Hoover Dam. And that's when Elijah really lost it. He was more angry and upset than I'd ever seen him. The NCR taking the dam filled him with an ungodly rage. As it turns out, he never wanted to do anything good with the tech he obsessed over. He just wanted the power that came from owning it, the control. When the NCR attacked us in 2276, Elijah had already become someone else entirely. He abandoned us while the NCR sacked Helios during Sunburst. They had us outnumbered 20-1, and we lost half our numbers before McNamara took command and led us away from there. We barely made it out. Soon enough, we arrived at Hidden Valley, this underground bunker complex that we turned into a home. It was our safe haven, our oasis in the desert. It was hard at first, learning to live without Elijah. McNamara put us under a strict lockdown, and I was the only one he'd allowed to come and go. I mean, someone had to keep the Brotherhood stocked up with food and water, so I ran the errands while the others went stir-crazy underground. That lasted until 2281, when I met this courier at the 188, a trading post. His name was Six, and he was chasing after some poker chip he'd lost. I convinced him to let me come with him, and we traveled all over. I even got to see the Vegas Strip finally. It was magical, as if it was alive. Soon enough, though, Six became the sole deciding factor in the future of the Mojave. Everyone wanted him on their side, including the Brotherhood. But one day he just vanished and was gone for a while. But when he came back, he sat me down and told me Elijah was dead. That his greed killed him. Six said he'd been kidnapped and taken to this pre-war casino, the Sierra Madre. That Elijah locked him in the vault, but he escaped and killed him. I wish I could have seen his face before it ended. I knew his soul died at Helios, but having that confirmation from Six was gut-wrenching. It hurt me. But at least I knew the truth, and I knew he couldn't hurt anyone anymore. I still miss him, who he used to be before he lost control. But he's gone. Anyways, when it came down to it, Six chose the NCR over the Brotherhood, over me. He convinced them to let us coexist, but the peace was temporary. After the NCR wiped the Legion at Hoover Dam, they came for us. They surrounded Hidden Valley and starved us out. It was a complete and utter siege. They waited for us to beg for mercy, and when we finally did, they gave each of us a choice. Surrender and join them, walk away peacefully, or die. They walked us out of the bunker, single file, with guns trained and ready. We were put on our knees and made to choose our fates at gunpoint. Most of the others chose to join the NCR, but some, like Hardin, they chose to die for what they believed in. McNamara and I, we walked away. McNamara knew the bulk of the Brotherhood still existed on the East Coast, and he also knew that Lost Hills would probably be next on the NCR's list. So rather than take refuge with the Elder Council, we chose to head east to the Capital Wasteland. I still don't know how we survived the journey. But we did, and we made it to the Citadel in 2283. Maxon and Kasdan, the Elder and the Sentinel, they let us join up with their Brotherhood chapter. It felt like the East Coast was all the Brotherhood had left. They'd built themselves up remarkably well compared to the West, but they were it. So we were given some time to get used to things, and were given our new assignments. I continued as a field scribe, and McNamara became a paladin. These days, I work for Scribe Naraya with plenty of freedom to do what I need to. McNamara got promoted to head paladin, so now he works for Autumn. We still talk every now and then, but things are different between us. I'm just glad that we survived it all. I never thought I'd make it this far. As far as the NCR goes, I hear they beat the Legion in their war finally. I also heard they sent some people here to Boston. I hope Six is with them. I mean, I know Six chose the NCR in the end, but I refuse to believe he sold us out. It's not right. Why would he negotiate a peace just to break it? Anyways, that's my story. Not as tragic as it could have been, but also not as cheerful. But hey, I'm alive, so what do you say we get out of here?
I just want to trade a few things.
All right, fine. Here's what I've got. I've been wondering how long it would take for you to come back for me. You finally ready to go make trouble together?
I'd like to travel together some more.
Took you long enough? Not like I was timing you or anything? Anyways, let's go.
Hey,
What do you want, soldier? Can't you see I'm busy?
busy? Busy with what?
That's none of your concern. Now tell me why you're wasting my time, and your reason better be good.
I'm sorry, sir. Elder Maxon wanted me to meet you personally. He's just promoted me to knight, and gave me a list of names to follow up on. You were next on my list, sir.
I see. Well, it's good to meet you then. Any friend to Elder Maxon is a friend to me. My name is Augustus Autumn, but you will address me as Field Marshal. Is that understood?
Field Marshal? I didn't know the Brotherhood had Field Marshals. Isn't the Brotherhood the continuation of the American military?
Yes, it is. The Brotherhood of Steel is the embodiment of the United States military, but the United States itself is long gone. Therefore, the Elder of the Brotherhood has the right to create whatever ranks he so desires, or take them away. He is essentially the President, and as such, he has designated me to be the Brotherhood's Field Marshal, a title I've done my best to live up to with honor. As Field Marshal, I serve as the operational commander of the Brotherhood's ground forces. Nothing happens in this army without my approval. On top of that, I also serve as Elder Maxon's personal advisor. Most official decisions he makes are made with my direct involvement. He has my absolute loyalty and respect, and he better have yours, too. There is no finer man to serve as America's leader than Elder Maxon.
Yes, sir, Field Marshal.
Good. Now I need to visit our forces in the field. You seem fit to serve as my bodyguard while I do it, so I'm giving you the job. Get your things.
You want me to be your bodyguard? Shouldn't you already have one?
I don't see how that's any of your concern, but no. Star Paladin Cross is Chief of Security for our Army's leadership. However, she serves the Elder first, and everyone else second, and I need someone I can trust to protect me in the field. That said, will you do it?
Negative, Field Marshal. I won't be your bodyguard. I have other things to do.
Fine. I'll just find someone else to do it. Your loss. Now get out of my sight.
Tone it down, pal.
Out of
Hi.
my way, waste.
Back again, I see. The job is yours still, if you want it.
What do you need me to do again?
As I told you before, I'm offering you the chance to serve as my bodyguard. I need to get out there, but I can't do it alone. Will you accept the job or not?
Yes, sir, Field Marshal. I've decided to accept your offer.
That's great to hear. Let's move out immediately.
Hey. Hey.
How can I be of service?
Your thoughts?
The Institute and their wretched abominations will face the full wrath of our resolve. They stand no chance against our army and its war machines.
I need you to get out of your power armor.
Do you need your eyes checked? I'm not wearing any power armor.
Someone's bitter. Your thoughts?
There are those in our army who believe the railroad is just as guilty as the Institute, but I'm not so sure. They don't have the capacity to be.
Your thoughts?
There's talk of the NCR having a presence nearby. They've eradicated every enemy that ever stood against them, including the Brotherhood out west. They're a powerful enemy. Definitely not one to be messed with. We should be careful.
Nothing. Never mind.
So be it.
Hey. Hey, got a sec?
What is it?
Hi.
What is it?
It's time for you to head home.
Understood. I'll be at the airport should you need me again.
Hey there, friend. We're in some real trouble. Maybe you can help.
Ad Victoriam, my friend. Do you have further need of my services?
Tell me about yourself. What's your story?
As you well know, I serve as Field Marshal to the Brotherhood of Steel, and therefore am its operational commander. That alone should be enough. Though, I guess it wouldn't hurt to tell you more about who I am. God knows I've been suppressing the past for long enough anyways. Very well then. I was born on an oil rig, if you'd believe it, into a secretive organization that claimed to be the continuation of the American government. This organization called itself the Enclave, and they did some nasty shit that, looking back, was downright awful, absolutely inhumane. In 2242, that oil rig was destroyed by a vault dweller who came to be known as the Chosen One. My father and I barely escaped with our lives. Soon after, my father was contacted by John Henry Eden, who claimed to be the next president. He ordered us to move the Enclave east to Washington. We did exactly that, and what remained of the Enclave suffered for it. Our main base in the west, Navarro, was conquered by the NCR after we left. Anyways, by that point, we were at Raven Rock, a large nuclear bunker that was designed to protect top government officials in the event of disaster. Over the years, I grew up to become the commander of the Enclave in the Capital Wasteland, and I held the rank of Colonel. I was Colonel Autumn, and as Colonel, I'd learned of the atrocities committed by those I'd considered my friends and allies, and I hated it. I wanted to change our path. You see, the Enclave viewed anyone tainted by radiation to be inferior and labeled them as mutants, as if they were nothing more than pests. I'd tried to work with President Eden to shift our focus toward rebuilding the world instead of killing those we didn't like, but he wouldn't budge. Then in 2277, 10 years ago, everything changed. The Brotherhood and some scientists were working on a thing called Project Purity, and he wanted it. Project Purity was very close to being operational, and Eden saw it as the perfect opportunity to get rid of the trash. So we moved on it. We moved on it, and we lost. You see, the Brotherhood had the help of a Vault Dweller, and just like before, the Vault Dweller decimated the Enclave. He, and he alone, destroyed Raven Rock after I took him prisoner. He led the charge against Project Purity, and he took me prisoner in return for it. He killed President Eden. He rained hellfire down on our mobile crawler at Adams Air Base. And he seized or blew up everything the Enclave held dear. That Vault Dweller, the Lone Wanderer, became the Brotherhood's first ever Field Marshal. He became a legend to the people of the Capital Wasteland. And once he was done wiping the Enclave off the map and shredding its entire existence, he gave me a choice. I could either be executed where I stood and tossed aside, or I could join the Brotherhood and try to make amends for the Enclave's atrocities. Obviously, I chose the latter. I hated what the Enclave became, and I abandoned it to its grave. I know I made the right choice in doing so. Anyways, the Lone Wanderer disappeared as fast as he had shown up. Nobody knows what happened to him. But after everything I did, he saved my life. I was stripped of my title as Colonel, and I was forced to learn everything about the Brotherhood, its history, its rules, its structure. Everything. After years of proving myself to the Brotherhood, I was promoted to Field Marshal by Elder Maxson. He showed me I belong here, and he has my loyalty. Now, I know that was a lot, but I've done everything I could to clear my name and make up for past mistakes. I know I've gained Maxson's respect. So, are you satisfied? I just gave you my entire life story, and now I just want to move on from it. You need to respect that. So, let's go.
I'd like to travel together some more.
Now that's just what I wanted to hear.
Hey.
What is it?
Your thoughts?
There are those in our army who believe the railroad is just as guilty as the Institute.
Right. Your thoughts?
The Minutemen seem capable of providing proper governance to this land, but I'm concerned their military doesn't stand a chance. We'll have to see.
Your thoughts?
I've been branded a villain many times before, and I agree that I deserved it. But to name me one now would just be ignorant. I've changed my ways.
Nothing. Never mind.
So be it.
Hello there, citizen. My name is Cassandra Moore, and I represent the NCR here on the East Coast. Could I have a moment of your time, please?
What is the NCR? I've never heard of it.
The NCR is the New California Republic, the largest and most stable nation that currently exists in post-war North America. We were founded on the old world principles of democracy and the rule of law, and we think it's better to pay our dues with taxes than with blood. Our citizens get to enjoy relative peace, prosperity, and security in the territories that we control, with no one going hungry or being killed off. We've also managed to build up our industrial capacity to a level that rivals the manufacturing giants of the pre-war era. And in terms of military might, our soldiers are considered top of the line and are trained to be the best. We've gone largely undefeated for years. Our most recent accomplishment, and probably our greatest, is our conquest of the Legion, a large empire that was built on slavery and ruthlessness. So, in essence, the NCR is the future of post-war America. We want people to understand that their days of suffering and the lawless wastes are over.
You said you represent the NCR? What do you mean, represent?
I serve as the NCR's ambassador here in Boston. Though at the moment, I don't exactly have an embassy to work out of. Times have been tough for us.
No way. I'm not interested in whatever bullshit product you're trying to sell me. Fuck off and leave me alone, you dumb bitch.
Wow. Okay, jackass. I'm not trying to sell you anything, but if that's how you want to play it, you can kiss this opportunity goodbye. Hey, you're back. Have you had enough time to reconsider my offer?
What did you need me to do again?
I need you to escort me and my men across the Commonwealth and keep us safe as we try to fulfill our duties to the NCR. So what do you say?
Yes, I have, and I've decided to accept. You can count on me to be a servant of the NCR.
That is wonderful news. All right, first things first. I need to come with you and see what you're capable of for myself. Let's move out.
Actually, I need more time. I'll come see you again when I'm ready.
Of course, I understand. I'll see you back here soon, hopefully.
Excuse me.
Hey, you're back. Have you had enough time to reconsider my offer?
Yes, I have, and I've decided to accept. You can count on me to be a servant of the NCR.
That is wonderful news. All right, first things first. I need to come with you and see what you're capable of for myself. Let's move out.
Hairstyle of your dreams.
Hey.
Yeah? What is it?
Your thoughts?
You should tread lightly when dealing with the East Coast Brotherhood. They are clearly more powerful and better organized than those in the West. And I'm sure they're none too happy with the NCR for what we did to them. We forced those in the West to surrender and dismantled them 6 years ago. Let's just hope they've learned to forgive and forget. I'm in no position to face them anytime soon here.
I need you to get out of your power armor.
And I need you to pay attention. Clearly, I'm not wearing any.
Your thoughts?
As soon as we have a working embassy, the NCR will be able to start making a difference here. Hopefully, with time, we'll civilize this wasteland.
Your thoughts?
I can't thank Diamond City enough for allowing my team to operate there. It was the only safe place in the Commonwealth when we got here to Boston.
Your thoughts?
Even though I sympathize with the railroad and their mission, I simply am unable to offer them any support. The NCR has no interest in saving synths.
Nothing. Never mind.
As you were then.
Hey.
I may not have an NCR armory at my disposal, but sure.
Excuse me.
Paper to newcomers.
Yeah? What is it?
If the Institute grabs you in the night,
It's time for you to head home.
All right, I understand. You know where to find me. Stay safe. The NCR is at your service. What did you need?
Tell me about yourself. What's your story?
Well, I've been with the NCR's military my whole adult life, ever since I joined up at 16. At 17, I received an officer's commission with the Army. For a while, I fought against the various gangs that plagued our nation, doing police work. I also served 4 tours battling the Brotherhood. Eventually, I got to join up with our Ranger program. Those were the best years of my life, but all it took for it to end was a pretty bad injury. When I recovered from that, I got promoted to colonel. Never did like the desk work, but I certainly loved the autonomy. The paycheck was nice, too. And even though I preferred being a ranger, it was my job as a colonel that gave me my greatest triumph, the Second Battle of Hoover Dam. You see, back in 2281, we were at war with this group called the Legion, or Caesar's Legion, a formidable enemy that threatened our very existence. The Legion was ruthless, a so-called empire that was built on the slavery and conquest of 86 different tribes from Arizona, New Mexico, and Colorado. Their leader, Caesar, was as cruel as it gets. And he styled himself a modern Roman emperor. Anyone who resisted him got crucified and tortured. Anyways, the Legion wanted the Hoover Dam like a fat kid wants a donut. It was their only goal in life, and we were the ones who held it. So for years, we skirmished with them over it, as well as the Mojave and New Vegas. We fought them so much that it spread us thin and we almost lost. But in 2281, the tides began to turn in our favor. It was then that I met Six, or Courier Six. Never knew his real name, but he's been crucial to us. As far as I know, Six worked for Mr. House, the leader of New Vegas, before he got betrayed and chose to work for the NCR instead. Six was instrumental in clearing the way for an NCR victory in the Mojave. I mean, the guy killed Caesar in his own tent, for God's sakes. He's a hero. Not only that, but he also got rid of Mr. House and handed control of the city of New Vegas over to the NCR. Gave it to us on a silver platter. On top of that, he negotiated a peace treaty between us and the West Coast Brotherhood, though it didn't last long. We went back on it. But regardless, Six handed us our victory at Hoover Dam. He personally led the charge into Arizona, killed the Legion's legate, and crushed them. For my part in it, General Oliver saw fit to promote me to Brigadier General, and from then on he and I worked together to push the Legion back east. It was a losing battle for what remained of the Legion, as they splintered further with every casualty they took, until finally we reached Flagstaff. And after weeks of fighting tooth and nail for the city, the Legion finally gave up. It was much like the Battle of Berlin back in World War II. So much so that when we finally stormed their Capitol building and eliminated the remaining holdouts, we hoisted the NCR flag above their rooftops. And from that point on, the NCR existed as the sole remaining superpower in the American Southwest. However, we still had plenty of work to do. Not only did we have to rebuild and integrate the lands we'd seized, but we still had to chase the remaining Legion sympathizers east and north. By the time we reached Denver and crushed the last of them, it was 2285. It took us nearly 4 years to finish off the Legion after Hoover Dam was over. At the beginning of 2286, the war was finally complete. Our territory stretched from California to the Midwest, and there was no one to challenge us. It was a Pyrrhic victory, sure, but a victory nonetheless. We survived, and the Legion didn't. Shady Sands, our capital, held celebrations for days. But despite the celebrations, President Kimball wasted no time moving to the next objective. He wanted eyes on the Institute, and he chose me for it. I was appointed to serve as the NCR's ambassador here in Boston, and was instructed to assemble a team to come with me, so I did exactly that. Luckily, Six was still working for the NCR, so I asked him for help. He got a bunch of his old friends from the Mojave together, and away we went. We all boarded an NCR vertibird and were flown straight here. Upon our arrival, we made nice with Diamond City and set up a makeshift headquarters. Now, a year later, we're still here. We're a small team, but the work we do here is vital. I keep the NCR informed using a deep-range transmitter. And despite our setbacks, I'd say we're doing okay. We're surviving. Anyways, long as it may be, that's my story. We should get back to our duties now.
I just want to trade a few things.
Of course. Here's what I've got. The NCR is at your service. What did you need?
I'd like to travel together some more.
All right, I'm ready when you are. Let's go.
Hey. Hey, got a sec?
What's up?
Your thoughts?
I've got to say, you've done a hell of a job keeping it together and moving forward with your life. I can't imagine the pain you've gone through.
Your thoughts?
I don't understand why the Institute chooses to isolate itself. If they have such great technology, then why would they rather be a boogeyman? I mean, the people here are suffering, and they decide just to threaten them further. Are they out of their goddamn minds? Who would think that's okay?
Your thoughts?
Even though I sympathize with the railroad and their mission, I simply am unable to offer them any support.
Your thoughts?
I've got to say, you've done a hell of a job keeping it together and moving forward with your life. I can't imagine the pain you've gone through.
Your thoughts?
The Minutemen's desire to unite the Commonwealth is commendable. If they manage to create a new unified government, the NCR will surely back them.
Nothing. Never mind.
As you were then.
Hey.
Hey man, nice to meet you. The name's Butch. Butch Deloria. Welcome to the railroad.
Butch Deloria. You don't have a railroad code name?
No, I don't. Chose not to when I joined. Nobody tells Butch how to be himself.
Where's that accent from? You don't sound like you're from Boston.
You're right, I'm not. I grew up in the capital wasteland, or I guess you'd know it as Washington, D.C. Came up here just a few years ago.
It's nice to meet you too, Butch. Thanks for the warm welcome.
Of course. No problem at all. My pal Deacon says you're good people, and that I can trust you. He says you can handle yourself. Sound about right?
Deacon's telling everyone I'm a hotshot now? I only just got here and suddenly I'm a celebrity?
I mean, yeah, I guess. You're the only one to ever join the railroad by showing up at our doorstep. If you ask me, that gives you bragging rights at least. Nobody would deny it either.
Yeah, I can hold my own. Haven't had many issues I couldn't deal with.
That's good to hear. I'm looking to see more of what's out there, but I'm not exactly keen on getting my head blown off in the process. Any chance you'd be willing to take me out there with you? I could watch your back and keep the crazies away.
Why would you want to come with me? Don't you get enough exposure to the outside by being a railroad agent?
Not really, no. I usually help with administrative tasks and keeping this place from falling apart. That, and I'm also the railroad's barber. If I ever do get to leave or run an op, it's usually just running around on glorified errands. I never get to do the fun, spicy shit. So what do you say? Please? Could I please come with you?
The Commonwealth is too dangerous, Butch. It isn't a game out there. I've been shot at who knows how many times. And I don't want your death on my conscience. I've got enough to worry about as is. If things change, I'll come get you. And we can go.
Fuck! Fine. Okay, I guess I'll just stay here and mop the floor or some crap. I hope you come back and let me out of this dump.
Hi.
You know, I'd still like to see if we can hash things out between us. What do you say?
Why do you want to come with me again?
It's like I told you before. I'm bored as shit in this rickety basement, and I'm tired of doing chores and errands. I want to live free out there.
Okay, Butch. You can come with me. Get your things and let's go.
Yes, finally, let's rock!
Commencing recurrence analysis using Dubrovian method.
There's more going on than you know. Trust me.
Yeah? What is it?
I need you to get out of your power armor.
What power armor? The fuck do I look like? A tin can?
Your thoughts?
Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet, eating her curds and whey, when along came a spider who sat down beside her and said, "Hey, what's in the bowl, bitch?"
Your thoughts?
I'll show you a real tunnel snake, you bitch.
Your thoughts?
Jack and Jill went up the hill, each with $1.25. Jill came down with $2.50. Oh!
Your thoughts?
I'm not so sure how I feel about saving synths these days. Are they man? Machine? No idea. All I really care about is helping the little guy.
Your thoughts?
I'll show you a real tunnel snake, you bitch.
Your thoughts?
I can't wait to turn the tunnel snakes into something good. I had to kick everyone out when I left Vault 101, and I've been trying to rebuild since.
Your thoughts?
I'll show you a real tunnel snake, you bitch.
Your thoughts?
Why's the Institute gotta be such a dick, huh? I mean, who nominated them to be king of the castle? Bunch of fuckheads shitting on the rest of us.
Nothing. Never mind.
All right, then.
You gotta be careful, man. The Institute is everywhere.
Heads up. Hey,
What's up?
it's time for you to head home.
All right then, I'll see you back at HQ. Peace.
Hey there.
It's good to see you again.
Tell me about yourself. What's your story?
I grew up in the Capital Wasteland, in a little place called Vault 101. Never really had it easy. Did some things I'm not proud of. For a while, I led this gang called the Tunnel Snakes. We were just bullies, preying on everybody for no reason at all. I guess I thought it was cool. I was especially hard on Deacon, who seemed to always have it better than me. He lived there too, in the vault. His dad was the vault's doctor. Anyways, about 10 years ago, Deacon's dad just up and left the vault, and Deacon was forced to chase after him, sent the whole vault into chaos. In response, the overseer forced the vault into lockdown and set up martial law, and it stayed like that for a while until everybody had enough. Right around then is when Deacon showed back up, saying his dad was dead and that there was a war coming, that we needed to be ready for the worst. While he was there, he kicked the overseer off his high horse, forced him to step down and give control of the vault over to his daughter, Amata. And Amata decided that there was no better way to thank Deacon for it than to exile him from Vault 101. Threw him out on his ass, just like that. At that point, I decided I wanted to leave too. Told Deacon I was real sorry for how I'd treated him and asked him to give me a chance to do better. He said yes, and off we went. I got to see up close and personal what he'd been through, and we became pretty good friends in the following weeks. When I wasn't with him, I was usually in Rivet City, this beached aircraft carrier they made a town out of. It had a bar called the Muddy Rudder. Anyways, soon enough I got to see what he meant when he said a war was coming. He wasn't wrong when he said things were going to get ugly quick. These two groups, the Brotherhood and the Enclave, were going to duke it out over who had the right to own the water supply. Project Purity, I think. Turns out, the Enclave had rolled in and seized Project Purity for themselves. They killed Deacon's dad in the process too. Bunch of dickheads. Well, the Brotherhood wasn't having none of that. They said, "Oh no you fucking don't, bitch," and rocked their shit. The Enclave got their ass beat. And oh man, you should have seen it. The Brotherhood rolled in with this giant robot, Liberty Prime, and it wiped them out. There was nothing left. Deacon said they even took their commander prisoner too. Some guy by the name of Autumn, I think he said, forced him to watch the Enclave crumble. Eventually, Deacon rose pretty high up through the ranks of the Brotherhood, carved out the whole Capital Wasteland for them and everything. The people there started referring to him as the Lone Wanderer, on account of him single-handedly changing the power dynamic. He became a legend. But in 2278, he gave it all up, said he made nice with the railroad, and that they could help him uncover the truth about his dad. I guess they found a synth component on him after the Brotherhood reclaimed Purity. So he and his girlfriend were going to move up here to Boston. They invited me to come with them, and I said yes. After we got up here, I chose to join the railroad too. Figured I could do some good finally. So yeah, that's my story. Been a long and hard road, but I feel like I finally made it in life. Aside from the Institute, I can't really complain. Now, all that's really left to do is rebuild the Tunnel Snakes, and I'll be just fine. Anyways, what do you say we get out of here?
I'd like to travel together some more.
Fine, let's go. I was done here anyway.
Heads up. Excuse me.
Yeah? What is it?
Your thoughts?
I'm not so sure how I feel about saving synths these days. Are they man? Machine?
Your thoughts?
I can't wait to turn the Tunnel Snakes into something good. I had to kick everyone out when I left Vault 101, and I've been trying to rebuild since.
Your thoughts?
I'll show you a real Tunnel Snake, you
Your thoughts?
Glad to see we're doing some good out here. Been too long since I've felt this happy or useful.
Your thoughts?
Rock out with our cocks out. No? Ah, whatever. Go fuck you.
Nothing. Never mind.
All right, then.